shoulder down, push that arm, drop, right? Right here, elbow deep at the knee, shoulder behind the thigh. From here, drive hard off your outside leg, run to your feet. From there, look what I did, that little finish. All I'm doing is driving and punching his leg up. Now here's the shrug, bump, swipe. When I grab the wrist, both hands should be under, right? One hand shouldn't be over, I shouldn't be like this. Both hands are under the wrist, holding it just like that. It becomes a very easy single leg for me to hit. What I'm gonna do is just push this arm forward a little bit and create some separation. And then I'm not trying to get to a grip. So I don't need to lock my hands around the knee. All I gotta do is get this arm elbow deep. So when I do this, I'm gonna be trying to fall into my single right here. I got the Russian 2-on-1, right? I put it out a little bit, fall right into my sweep. From here, once my hand gets elbow deep around his knee, I lock and drive up to the feet. So the reason I'm focused on just getting my one arm elbow deep and not trying to go here is because look, I put my head and hips underneath him. So now when he starts to sprawl, I'm going under, right? If I go for a big kind of punch, it's gonna keep my hips outside of him and it's gonna put me in better position, right? So when you do it, right, what I don't wanna see is this. You do a really good job getting your 2-on-1, and then you go for that single, you put that arm out a little bit, and you go here, right? And you fall down, and your head's down, and your hips are back, right? When we shoot this, the basics of a good shot are what?
Oh,
Head up, hips in, back straight, right? So when I shoot, my head's gotta make first contact with his body, then my hips, and then everything should be locked. Boom. Now you can see that drove Braden back, right? That knocked him back a step. Now I lock my hands, when you do it, right, make sure it comes off our opponent collar tying. But we want the collar tie on this side. So it works well, right? Because most guys will collar tie with the right. So again, I shrug, bump, swipe. When I grab the wrist, both hands should be under, right? One hand shouldn't be over, I shouldn't be like this. Both hands are under the wrist, holding it just like that. I keep this tight, I drive my shoulder down a little bit, I step. Another thing you can do too, if you're having a hard time or your opponent steps their leg back, you start circling and then you fake like a tap to that leg to get them to step that back and then drop, right? Now look, my head up, my hips in, and look where my shoulder is, it's behind his thigh. This is a very different thing than if I shot here, right? And now I'm starting to go down with him, but if my shoulder gets behind that thigh, right here, and he sprawls, I resist him. All right, so now right here, I lock up, run to my feet, chase the ankle, collar ties. Step one, bump, swipe. Bump, swipe. Right here, bump, swipe. Now, armpit. I start to pressure, shoulder down, push that arm, drop. Right? Right here, elbow deep at the knee, shoulder behind the thigh. From here, drive hard off your outside leg, run to your feet. From there, look what I did, that little finish. All I'm doing is driving and punching his leg up. Now here's the single leg finish we're gonna work on. Very high percentage, right? I either run the knee down and circle backside, come back up, or another high percentage one, inside the thigh, pull, trip, let them fall first, and cover. Every takedown should be down to their hip. Finish well, right? Practice a good finish like you would in a match. Right here, trip, he falls first, cover, down to the hip. The other one, run backside. Right here, I got to my good single. Push the leg down, run backside, climb down to the hip. Right, cover hard.